Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Hey, it's what is it? It's Friday morning and ain't God good and won't he do it? Oh yes he will, oh yes he will. I know I'm listeners probably saying, Lee Craft. You say the same thing every morning. I'm gonna say Enoch. That means y'all sure know what to say. Look, it's Friday morning, right? Ain't God good? How many of y'all went to sunrise service yesterday and brought the day in with people and worshiping the Lord? Sunrise service ain't the same, is it? But before we get started, if you have any comments or concerns, please email me at leecraftwhatif@gmail.com or go to Anchor, Spotify, YouTube, Facebook, all those beautiful apps. Look for the animated black man with a white beard, smiling and profiling, and finally, y'all trying to size me up. Oh, yeah. I'm going to go back in the day. Going to a sunrise service with my wife and family, and bringing the day with the family and the worship of the Lord. You know what I'm saying? Just in a positive environment. I thought it was. Remember, like I told you, the positivity travel faster than the negativity. Hey, like I said, it does. And even in negativity, you got some positive things in there. So why positivity will always travel faster than negativity. So look at people. Went to a sunrise service, right? Sunrise service when you preachers preaching, people giving their testimonials about the things that they came through, the things that they want God to do for them, all those things, And it's good to hear people testimonials because it takes courage to get up there and say those things that you came out of, you know what I'm saying? And the things that you are in, Everybody don't want to tell you those stories because they embarrassed. They are embarrassed, but ain't God good? God will wipe away all those things that you're going through, that you're dealing with. You got to have courage to deal with what you're in. Because people are going to be talking about you regardless. So that's how you learn to have that thick skin. That's why Lee Craft had to learn, No matter what you're doing, whether you're up high or you're up low or you're in the middle, people still got something to say. So are you going to let what they say get you off your path? Sometimes they do, but you shouldn't. You shouldn't. So go back to the story. We're at sunrise service singing songs and people getting up telling their testimonies and stuff, right? Talking about how good God has been to them. And this lady, at the church, she feel that you gone a little bit over, getting close to going over your time. She said, ding, ding. I mean, your time is up. Wrap it up. Got probably about 3 seconds. Oh, she wanted you to wrap it up, say thank you, and move, right? So people telling their testimony. So this one man, he got up, started giving his testimony about how God has been good to him, how God has changed his life. I said, wow, things that he came out of. I said, okay. Lady said, ding, ding. So the man kept on talking. Just kept on talking, you know what I'm saying? And she said, ding, ding. So the man looked over at her, kept on talking, and telling the testimony about how God has changed him and everything. She said, I said ding, ding. He said, ding, ding, and a ring-a-ling. Everybody in church woke up because everybody was kind of sleepy. You know how they would get close to 12 o'clock, you get kind of sleepy, right? The whole church woke up and started laughing. But it's kind of strange, right? Because I understand that you have a time frame on giving your testimonies, but was she right or was she wrong for rushing him to go through his time frame? Now we got there. I forgot what time we got there, but it's over at 12 o'clock, right? But some say she was right, some she's wrong. Me personally, I think that she was wrong. I'm gonna tell you why. People giving their testimony and they're in the house of the Lord. You don't rush them to get a testimony because they're gonna say they trying to get everything out. Some might get them and might say 3 words, God, I thank you, and get on down. But this man was going through something, so she should have gave him the time to give a testimony. It's just like I'm giving you an example. Let me give you an example about what I mean by what I said. Say you're on your knees, you're praying to God, right? You're at home with your spouse, and y'all getting ready to go to bed. You down on your knees, you're praying, right? And and y'all praying together out loud. You know you pray out loud, right? And she said, ding, ding. I'm just saying, you got all the time in the world to tell God what you want to tell God, right? She said, ding, ding. You're going to be mad, aren't you? You'll be mad. Look, I want to tell y'all this too. Be mindful. On my podcast, I do not edit. It's just like real life. You make mistakes, you got to live with it and deal with it. That's how the real world. That's how the real world is. You can't. There's no do over. There's no rewinds. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, be mindful. No matter what you're going through, I can guarantee you one thing. It's going to be okay as long as you make God a part of your life. That's the what if guarantee. Look, that's what I'm saying, people. When you don't need to pray, you're talking to God, God having that conversation, you don't want to be rushed. You want to let God know what's on your heart at that time. I know you got other times you talk to God throughout the day and stuff, but right there at that moment, a lot of things are probably like hitting you. They're hitting you. You want to, if you confess the Lord, tell him what you're talking about. Tell him what you want, huh? I'm just saying. It takes courage, for one, to get in front of everybody. I don't care if they're your family, whoever it is, to get in front of everybody and tell your journey. People don't understand that. It's courage. Say courage. It takes courage to walk away from foolishness. That's courage. It's courage. I'm talking to Brother Dez, right? And at the job, and Dez said, man, he's Mr. Lee, I don't go to Sunrise Service no more, man. They want to argue and fight all the time. I said, really? Yeah, Mr. Lee, they want to argue and fight and stuff, man. Like, that ain't cool, Mr. Lee. You sure know what to say. Say less, Dad. He just started laughing. But that's what it is, people. Like, so when you're in the house of the Lord, why you arguing and fighting in the house of the Lord, I have no idea. But people are going to be what? People. You can't change that. They have to change themselves on the inside. People want to put on a show and act to pretend that they're somebody else, and they're really that person that is heartless. But if you are who you are, you're in the church and you're in the house of the Lord, God knows your heart. You may fool some of the people some of the time, but you're not gonna fool some of the people all the time. I probably said that wrong, but if I did, you know what I mean, right? You know what I meant. But that's the thing, people. Sometimes we just look at things like, man, is this really going on here? Why are they arguing back and forth in the house of the Lord? It's okay to have disagreements, but do it like Jesus would do it. Don't let me get to the point where it's argumentative. You know what I'm saying? Because we all know the difference between right and wrong. It's not about your way. It's about doing it the right way. What people always say, there are two sides to every story when there are actually three. His side, her side, and the truth. I'm just saying, hey, it is what it is until it isn't. So like I said, people, I hope you enjoyed the show for today. I know a lot of y'all probably dealt with the same thing and stuff, like I said, in the house of the Lord. And like I said, should it be that way? It shouldn't be that way. That should be your sanctuary. You should come and have peace. But back in the biblical days, Jesus came in, he turned over the tables inside the holy place, didn't he? So people still going to be who they are. They're still going to be who they are. Look, if you let a snake inside the church before it get out, it's still a what? Just because it's inside church, it's still a what? It's still a snake. It's still a snake. Still a snake. So and that's what it is. People come inside church and they're still snakes. But hopefully God will reform their hearts and make them better. Get rid of their wicked way, because people can change. Sometimes what we do, we hold the past against them because you made a change. Lee Craft, you done said something then, Lee Craft. Yeah, I done said something then. I ain't the smartest guy in the world. Or am I? So like I said, people, I hope you enjoyed the show. If you didn't, rewind, listen to it again, and say, no, what? I didn't get it. Rewind, listen to it again. Say, I didn't get it. Rewind and listen again with a friend. If y'all don't get it, say, you know what? Just get it taped to somebody else. I'm just playing. You got it. Because I know you got it. It don't take much, because what comes from the heart reaches the heart. I can guarantee you that. So with that being said, this is Lee Craft. This is my podcast. But if you have any comments or concerns, please email me at leecraftwhatif@gmail.com. One band, one sound. Together, we got an opportunity to turn this whole world around. But in order to have a real conversation, you got to have real people if you want to have a real conversation. Have a blessed day, and please find time and make time to tell God thank you.